New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring. New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Live from a secure concrete bunker somewhere in Ohio, New Thought Media Network presents Pastor Michael Mangus with Friday's Fireside Chat, spiritual conversation for today. Here he is from the secret radio room, surrounded by thousands of watts, Pastor Michael Mangus.
And after what we have planned for this evening, I think I may have to hide for a few more days. Well, good evening to everyone across the United States and also around the world. It is time once again for another fun-filled throw-packed, and yes, guaranteed by Reverend Jeff Radcliff to be a great show. It is time once again for the Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. I am the Reverend Michael Mangus, broadcasting this evening from the secret radio room, surrounded by thousands, and I mean thousands of watts in the extremely secure concrete bunker somewhere around Akron, Ohio. That is so top secret. Only one person knows the location of the bunker. Everyone else, especially that Rev Doc, the Reverend Dr. Robert Brzezinski. And also, I don't know if I'm going to ever tell Jeff Radcliffe, because he would send someone to harass me there. But those two people especially, I'm not going to tell. Because sometimes I want to hide from both of them. That's right. Well, we do have a wonderful show for you this evening. Hello there. I know that some individuals are commenting here on either Facebook or YouTube. And for those of you who said there is no way that I'm going to contact you during your show, there is no way that I'm going to put my name up on any comments associated with you, I understand. So just send me an email during the week, pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com, pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com. And what I'll do is I'll reply to it sometime during the week. So the purpose of our weekly gathering here is to talk about contemporary issues from a New Thought perspective. And as I keep sharing with you week after week, I want us all to have a new thought about what is happening out there. And again, I heard this week someone say, well, you know, the hell with it all. I'm not going to pay attention to the news. I'm not going to get involved with politics. I'm done. I get that. And now is not the time to do that. We need to be informed. We need to be aware. We need to allow our light to shine. This is our time. This is our season for those individuals who are spiritually aware. So we give some commentary to the news, and most of the time we laugh our way through it. However, that by laughing through it, what we do is we're able to still stay informed and not be overwhelmed. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, from the formerly great state of Tennessee, originally from the greater state of West Virginia, we have divine science minister and co-host. He is the Reverend Jeff Radcliff.
Hey,
Reverend Jeff, yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing okay, but I had a very interesting time with our Divine Science Everywhere show earlier this afternoon. We had some minister guy on. I'm not sure if he had like a couple of circuits that weren't cooking or whatever.
Why?
Maybe he was on meth. I don't know. It was really weird because he kept talking about being alive in a concrete bunker.
Yeah.
And then he said some strange shit. I don't know. Is this a California sports team? He was talking about the San Diego Rays. And I'm like,
what?
Yeah, it was like totally out there. The San Diego Rays.
What are you talking about?
Do you not even listen to your own speech at the beginning of the show?
What? You mean at the beginning of my show?
Yes.
All the
You
time.
talk about being live from the concrete bunker.
Yes.
And I said you were live in a concrete bunker.
Okay.
Only one person knows. San Diego Rays.
Yes.
Get it?
Right. Only one person, and that is Diego Reyes.
I'm looking right at the camera.
Yeah.
Everybody out there watching, do you see what I have to put up with?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we all know why you show up here. It's not because of the Friday evening fireside chat, and certainly it's not because of me. It is because of the award-winning Reverend Jeff's story of the week.
You know, I don't even think that they're here for the story of the week. I think they're here more. I think they're wagering on how many F-bombs I'm going to drop during the show. That's what I think. So, all y'all, you're going to be losing your fucking money left, right, and center.
Okay, that's one.
I know somebody's already made a quarter or something. But you know, this is not high dollar wagering here.
Are you a little upset at the news this week, Reverend Jeff?
I am not thrilled with it.
Okay. Well, this week, while our overworked and underpaid legal department at the New Thought Media Network was reviewing their story, their comment to me was that you watch the National Geographic Channel too much.
Yeah, I know.
And legal was really ticked at you for waiting until the very last minute to get the story to them for approval.
And you know that's funny? I set up that email and everything, and then got caught up in doing something else and forgot to send it. But it was sitting there it was sitting there ready for me to hit send.
Well, you explain that to legal because your story is the last thing that they go over before heading to the local bar for team building.
Well, isn't that just tough shit?
Now, since how
late did they stay in order to go over the story? How much happy hour did they miss?
they only missed about an hour.
Oh, okay, no big deal.
But you see, they like getting out at 3 because when they're done for the week, they're done. And your story is the last thing that they do on Friday afternoons.
They want to cross my palm with some more silver, I'll be happy to send an email earlier in the week or even earlier in the day on the last
All
day.
right. So since the Reverend Dr. Robert Brzezinski is in Kentucky for another New Thought Organization board meeting, legal spun the wheel of F-bombs and it landed on 3. They would have given you more but you cut into their Friday afternoon drinking time, and
well.
they are pissed.
Oh well. I kind of wish that I'd known that Rev Doc was in Kentucky. We could have found some banjo music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then,
Deliverance type.
yeah, but then we'd get dinged for copyright.
Not if we played it backwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pretend we're Led Zeppelin. We'll play it backwards. Or the Beatles.
You made me work today your schedule.
Yeah.
I was a guest on Divine Science Everywhere here on the New Thought Media Network. And then I'm now slaving once again over a hot microphone for a second show. Where is HR? Where's my agent? Let me call my agent here. Oh,
No.
she told me not to contact her anymore.
So you're just SOL. Let's get on with this thing.
You are just working me today. Well, Reverend Jeff, did you know that today was Friday the 13th?
Well, that explains what happened earlier, but I'd forgotten. But yeah, I knew it was in the back of my mind. But
Well, today is considered a very unlucky day in Western superstition. It occurs when the 13th day of the month in the calendar falls on a Friday, which happens at least once every year, but can occur up to 3 times in the same year. And again, we had a Friday the 13th last month.
Yep.
So 2 Friday the 13th in a row.
Yeah, that's because February only has 28 days,
Right.
and March has 31, and every first of the month lines up. So
Well, for a month to have a Friday the 13th, the first day of the month must be a Sunday. So that's what happens.
do we have another one coming up this year?
I don't know. I did not research that. Maybe you could do that.
Oh, I got my calendar pulled up.
Okay.
Look.
Well, one source mentioned for the unlucky reputation of the number 13 is a Norse myth about 12 gods having a dinner party in Valhalla. The trickster god Loki, who was not invited, arrived as the 13th guest and arranged for the god of darkness to shoot Baldar, who is the god of joy and gladness, with a mistletoe-tipped arrow. Balder died, triggering much suffering in the world, which caused the number 13 to be considered unlucky. Also, like the story of Jesus' Last Supper and crucifixion, in which there were 13 individuals present in the upper room, on the 13th of Nisan Maundy, Thursday, the night before his death on Good Friday. So that's the reason why it's so spooky.
Oh. Well, it's going to be even spookier in November when we get another one.
Okay.
Yep.
And we have another Friday evening fireside chat here on your New Thought Media Network.
Maybe that'll be the day we take off. Hi.
Well, one of your favorite holidays is coming up, Reverend Jeff. Get out the Irish coffee, the corned beef, and the green beer. It is St. Patrick's Day on Tuesday, the 17th.
Yep.
So are you serving green eggs and ham on that day?
No,
Why not?
because I'm not.
Okay.
I've already got dinner planned. It was
Oh.
it was a toss up between Irish stew and corned beef and cabbage, and corned beef and cabbage won.
Okay. Well, the Feast of St. Patrick's is a religious and cultural holiday held on the 17th of March, which is the traditional death day of St. Patrick, who is the foremost patron saint of Ireland. St. Patrick's Day was made an official Christian feast day in the early 17th century, and it is observed by the Catholic Church, the Anglican Communion, the Eastern Orthodox Church, and also the Lutheran Church. The day commemorates St. Patrick and the arrival of Christianity into Ireland, and by extension celebrates the heritage and culture of the Irish in general. Historically, the Lenten restrictions on fasting and drinking alcohol are lifted for that day, which has encouraged the holiday tradition of getting drunk on your butt.
Well, I think that also has to deal with Irish stereotypes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, also, people, please don't embarrass yourself if you're not of the Irish persuasion.
Okay.
It's St. Patrick's Day or St. Paddy's Day with a D.
Okay.
Because his name in Gaelic is Patrick. If you call it Paddy's Day or St. Paddy's Day with a T, you're just embarrassing yourself. Please don't do that.
Okay, so what is the correct, how should we pronounce it correctly?
I just told you.
Say it again for all of the slow learners out there.
The ones that live in the concrete bunker.
Right, go ahead.
Paddy's Day with a D.
Paddy's Day.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not Paddy's Day. We're not talking about Paddy Duke here. We're talking about an Irishman named Padraig. So, yeah.
Boy, are you aging yourself. Talking about Patty Duke.
I know who Patty Duke is, or was. Didn't she die? I think she died.
I don't know.
I know John Astin did. That was her husband. That's where they got Sean, their son, the actor.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have put it off long enough.
Yep.
It is time, once again, for the news. Now from SIN, the Spiritual Information Network, in our 24-hour newsroom. This is Reverend Jekyll and Reverend Hyde reporting. I'll tell you something. The news is nuts. Crazy.
Well, look who's making it.
What, me or
no, news is nuts. Well, look who's making the news.
Well, this is what we know on the 14th day of the U.S. and Israel war with Iraq. The U.S. military says that all 6 service members aboard a KC-135 refueling aircraft were killed when it crashed in Iraq on Thursday. The U.S. said that the incident was not due to hostile fire, but an Iranian proxy group claimed responsibility. This brings the total number of American military personnel killed up to 13, with over 140 plus injured. And we are not sure that that amount is correct. All right. More great news. The U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says that Iran's new supreme leader has likely been disfigured, casting doubt on his first purported message released on Thursday. A statement read out loud on Iranian state TV on Thursday and described as, okay, and I'm still learning how to pronounce this, Mojtaba Khamenei's first message as Iranian's his new supreme leader warned that the Strait of Hormuz would remain closed as a tool of pressure, through the Iranian ambassador to the UN, claiming otherwise just hours later. Hegseth called the written statement evidence that the new supreme leader is desperate, scared, and injured. Any comments, Reverend Jeff?
Well, I think he's kind of reaching for things there, but he might not be he might not be too far off. I mean, because when that bomb struck, it killed his both of his parents and his wife. So
Right.
it's quite possible that he could be pretty badly injured.
Well, from what we understand from reports is that his foot was injured and he suffered other injuries. I'm not sure what they are. But fresh strikes have rocked the region, including more Iranian attacks on the Gulf states. Hegseth waved off Iran's actions in the critical Strait of Hormuz, saying that there's no need to worry about it. And President DT says that he will know that the war is over when he feels it in his bones. And also, DT said he suggested that oil tankers should go through the Strait of Hormuz and show some guts.
Yeah, I always defer to a draft dodger for military instructions and orders. Even when I was in the army, I always did that. So yeah.
So at least 16 oil tankers, cargo ships, and other vessels have been attacked in and around the Strait of Hormuz, the Arabian Gulf, and also the Gulf of Oman since the war began 2 weeks ago, according to the United Kingdom Maritime Agency. And also, a strike killed at least one person in Tehran when explosions were reported near a large crowd marking Al-Quds Day, according to the Iranian state-affiliated media, which said that one woman was killed. The strike came shortly after Israel issued evacuation orders for nearby areas. Huge crowds gathered in the city across Iran to mark the day, which is held in support of the Palestinians. Some waved Iranian flags, others burned American and Israeli flags, or chanted anti-U.S. and anti-Israeli slogans. At least 2,000 people in total are dead as a result of the war so far. Now, you know me.
Mhm.
That I like to stir up crap on Facebook.
Mhm.
So one of the memes that I saw was that of an Iranian woman happy about the conflict because it gives an opportunity for regime change. Also in that same meme was a spiky purple-haired woman, a liberal, who is screaming at the other woman to shut up because war is bad. Now, there seems to be a thought among our right-wing friends that everyone in Iran is happy about the U.S. and Israel bombing them. I'll take a look at this is from today's demonstration. I don't think so. You know, the question here is whether the Iranian resistance will take up arms against the Revolutionary Guard. And also from reports that the Revolutionary Guard is getting ticked off at the government because they have only given them 12 bullets.
Can't do much with that. All this talk about regime change and the crowd turning on the government and whatnot.
Right.
It's going to take to get that started here. I mean, you know, the French did it. Maybe they've got some guillotines we can borrow.
Well, now hold it. Now the resistance is going on. You know, we from the concrete bunker. You know, I have the antenna that goes up like Hogan's Heroes.
Oh, okay.
for my clandestine radio transmissions.
I thought you were going to break into song from South Park.
No, I'm not.
The Resistance.
No, we do have some not very good news. And again, this should be expected, is that we're getting some blowback here in this country. The Michigan synagogue attackers' relatives were killed in an Israeli airstrike in Lebanon, officials say. A week before Thursday's attack on a Michigan synagogue, the suspects' two brothers and two of their children were killed in an Israeli airstrike in Lebanon, the mayor of the Lebanese village where they lived told CNN. What the mayor said was that what happened was, in a phone interview, that his brothers, the brothers of Ayman Mohammed Ghazali, 41, his brothers were killed in an attack along with the two children. And so he was getting retribution for that. So what happened is that he ran his car into the synagogue, Temple Israel, where he was taken out by a security guard there. And in the building was several dozen children who were there for daycare. So they kind of knew that this would happen. So they, Temple Israel went ahead and beefed up their security so that none of their people would be killed. There was the security guard was injured, though. The perpetrator, Ghazali, was killed in the incident. And if that wasn't enough, we had a shooting this week at Virginia's Old Dominion University late Thursday morning. It was committed by a veteran and convicted ISIS supporter. He killed one person and injured two others before a classroom of ROTC students subdued and killed him, the FBI said. Why would you want to go into a classroom filled with ROTC students who have been trained in self-defense? You tell me, Reverend Jeff. I have no idea.
I would have my own reasons for going, but what his reason was, I have no idea.
Well, the gunman was identified by the FBI as 36-year-old Mohammed Baylor Jallo, who is a naturalized U.S. citizen born in Sierra Leone and formerly of the Virginia National Guard, who pled guilty to attempting to aid ISIS in 2016, and he just got out of jail in 2024. The shooter opened fire inside a classroom of ROTC students who did not hesitate to confront their attacker. The students subdued and killed the shooter. One of the students stabbed Jallo, according to the multiple law enforcement sources briefed on the case. The attacker ultimate cause of death is unclear. It seems like he was after the instructor. The person who was killed was their instructor, Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw, who was just ready to retire. Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger described him as a devoted ROTC instructor who didn't just lead a life of service in our country. He taught others and led others to follow the path. So this whole idea, the reason we're talking about this tonight is, again, that our sense of security has been taken away here. Even in California, there's been reports that there may be drone attacks there. And so please pray for peace, pray for the protection around yourself and your family too, and make sure that you are registered to vote and go vote in the primaries and general elections this year. Mm-hmm. If you want to stop this on a physical level, go do that. Check the ID requirements and make sure that you do have a proper ID. And next, the story deemed by our legal department as Reverend Jeff watching National Geographic too much. Reverend Jeff's story of the week.
You ain't right.
Be an interesting one. Did you find your notes on it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good.
No, I didn't.
We're going to have to wing it.
I had them here just a minute ago. What did they do with them?
All right. Well, we're going to take a break here, but before we do, hi there. This is the Friday Evening Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. I am Reverend Michael. How are you this evening? And just want to remind you that this Sunday, our friends from Summit CSL will be having their service online. For more information, go to summitcsl.org. There you will find the Zoom information. Please go join the call. It is a great service. This Sunday, we will be having our staff theologian. He has two, not one, but two seminary degrees. The Reverend John Miller, he will be speaking this Sunday at Summit CSL. For more information, go to summitcsl.org and join in the Zoom call. It's a great service, and we would love to see you there this Sunday. Okay. Time for a break, and then we will be back with more exciting action here on Friday evening's Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network.
Please help us say thank you to all of our organizational sponsors, including the Hefferland Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Center for Spiritual Living United Life, Sunshine Cathedral, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Universal Joy Center, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center Ottawa, Home Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. On behalf of New Thought Media Network, thank you, and please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, come be you. Come expand your spiritual journey. Join us for Just the Talk, Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Experience Unity Kitchener and Ottawa. Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Unity of Garden Park, New Thought Philadelphia, the Sunshine Cathedral, Unity of Savannah, and the Om Center for Spiritual Living. Come unleash your spiritual potential with New Thought Media Network.
The views and opinions expressed by Pastor Michael Mangus are generally right. However, they are his own and do not reflect the views and opinions of New Thought Media Network, Centers for Spiritual Living, or any other person living or dead. As they say in the 12-Step Recovery Program, take what you like and leave the rest. Here again is Pastor Michael.
You are working me today. Not one, but two shows and show prep.
Oh my gosh. It's your job. Now, granted, you showing up on our show this afternoon was nice, and I thank you for being there.
Yeah.
But the rest of it's on you, dude. I mean,
no, not only, now hold it now. Not only did I have to be on your show today.
You didn't have to, but
I didn't have to, but I chose to, okay?
Yeah.
I had to produce the program. Now, HR is going to get really upset because I'm putting in for OT.
Well,
so do you think that Rev Doc, the Reverend Dr. Robert Brzezinski, do you think he's going to sign off on it?
No, he's pretty cheap. Probably not.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, yes. It is time once again for the award-winning Reverend Jeff's Story of the Week. And here he is, all the way from the formerly great state of Tennessee, Jeff Radcliff.
All right. You know, there is just something about the appeal of shiny rocks that just boggles the mind. It just transcends logic. And it's been true not only for the 5,500-year history of the use of gold as money, but likely for our very long entire existence. Crystals have been repeatedly found at archaeological sites alongside Homo sapiens and the earlier Homo ancestors, like Homo erectus and whatnot. Evidence shows that hominins like us have been collecting these cute little stones for as long as 780,000 years. And we know that our ancestors didn't use them as weapons. They were not tools, or they didn't even use them as jewelry. They just collected them. And so they're trying to figure out what's going on with that. Well, you know, modern humans diverged from chimpanzees between 6 and 7 million years ago. So although we share a substantial genetic and behavioral, similarities, we do have our differences. Apparently, crystals are not one of them. Even pyrite, gold, calcite crystals that have different shapes than quartz crystals they're appealing to chimpanzees. A group of scientists in Spain decided that they were going to, explore this and find out what's going on. So they put a group of calcite, a group of quartz, and some iron pyrite, the fool's gold, into a pile of just plain little rocks. And the chimps were able to go through the small little pile of rocks and pull out the crystals. And they would put them in their mouths and take them back to their sleeping quarters. They think that the reason that they put them in their mouths, two reasons. Number one, they want to keep them safe from other apes that might try to take them. But it was almost like they seemed to have this idea that these are precious and we need to take very good care of them. So now they're trying not to attribute the chimps' behavior to us, because the chimps, as you see, are what they called. Oh my goodness, what's the word? I had the word here on my thing, and I left it out. They have been raised with humans, so they have been like indoctrinated, kind of like, they see us doing things and it kind of rubs off. And so So they're just kind of wondering if maybe they're picking up our stuff instead of us picking up their stuff. It's kind of hard to say. This is only a preliminary study. They only used 9 apes in it. The trick would be to replicate these experiments and maybe even do them in the wild with other species of primates, not only chimpanzees, but bonobos and mountain gorillas. So they're going to be working on that. And it turns out that the great apes aren't the only animals that value crystals. Some birds have been known to collect them. Bowerbirds, for instance, will decorate their nests with all kinds of objects, and they've been documented arranging quartz crystals around the perimeter of their nest in order to attract females. So there's just something about the way that these monkeys could find the multi-sided stones, because that's crystals have their 6 sides, and just kind of know that these are something special as opposed to all the other stuff. And like I said, they've been enculturated. That was the word I was looking for, enculturated. They've had extensive interactions with humans, so it's kind of hard to maybe see if there has been some human pushing them toward some direction or not, because they just started this study a couple years ago. But it shows up in the journal Frontiers of Psychology. Frontiers in Psychology was published March 3rd. And so you can read about it there. Turns out monkeys like crystals, just like all those little white girls down at the New Thought shop. It's all new agey and mystical and there you go.
Only girls?
Well, no, there are some guys here too. I hear that that some of the deadheads used to travel around, following the Grateful Dead, and they'd sell crystals for gas money.
Are you sure it was crystals?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, crystal meth hadn't been invented yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the award-winning Reverend Jeff's story of the week. And for goodness sakes, Reverend Jeff, please get your story of the week to legal so that I don't have to hear it.
I'm not going to drop an F-bomb or anything, but they could pick a finger. I know. I'll get it early next time.
Well, it's just I get in trouble.
Oh, you don't.
Yes, I do. They yell at me.
They shouldn't. That was my stuff, not yours.
Yeah, but I'm responsible for the show.
Oh, okay.
Who is that? Well, that
my money.
So one of the hottest tickets in the Vatican's backyard these days is a 4-lecture series on the Antichrist, being given by noted theologian, Silicon Valley tech billionaire Peter Thiel. The invitation-only conference in Rome from Sunday to Wednesday has proven so controversial that the Catholic universities initially associated with it have denied all official involvement. And that's because the Vatican called them and told them, don't attend. Thiel now is the co-founder of PayPal and also Palantir, who is the data mining company that has been assisting the Trump's administration's migrant deportation crackdown. An early donor to the political career of Vice President J.D. Vance, he sunk millions of dollars here in the state of Ohio to get him elected. Thiel is also deeply interested in the apocalyptic concept of the Antichrist and has written and lectured on it before. Christians debated these prophecies for millennia. Who is the Antichrist? When would he arrive? When would he preach? Discussion of the Antichrist by a Tertullian in the Vatican's backyard has proven divisive. So I guess that this whole idea of eschatology or the end times is something that fascinates some of the right wingers. And that in Pete Hegseth last week telling his military generals that they are doing God's work by ushering on Armageddon so that Jesus Christ would return. Your comments, Reverend Jeff.
Well, most of Christianity across the rest of the world doesn't even believe in this stuff.
Right.
It was never. It's not in the Bible. It was a bunch of pieced together stuff written for, the church, the early church, just a few years after Christ was crucified.
Mm-hmm.
They were waiting for him to come back then.
Absolutely.
It was they were not writing it for 21st century Americans or anybody else. 2,000 years removed from the events or whatnot. Although I do have to say, I do have to kind of wonder, even though I don't believe in the rapture and Jesus coming back, I do believe in the Antichrist because I believe I saw him coming down a golden escalator in 2015. So
I wonder who that is.
Yeah. So I'm not going to repeat my joke from last week because I almost got in trouble for that one. About the other part of the joke. If you want to see the joke, folks, watch last week's show.
Watch last week's show. Oh, you mean about the Whore of Babylon?
Yes. Now you're going to be into it, not me. Because it could be anybody in that administration now. I mean,
Well, do you think that he is the man of lawlessness as talked about in the New Testament?
Well, he has done so much that would point him in that direction. I would find it hard to argue against it. The man of lawlessness, that sounds like him.
And you may read 2 Thessalonians 2, verses 1 through 12. That is your Bible homework. And at the end, go ahead and ask yourself, who are they speaking about?
It makes you wonder.
Yes. One more story.
One? Just one?
Yeah.
Oh.
We may end on time tonight.
Well, if you hurry up and get this, I could ask you about something that I saw on the news here just a little while ago.
Okay, well, I thought this was funny.
Uh-oh.
Whether or not that you think it is, we're going to see here in just a moment.
If there's any hillbillies in this, and you are in trouble.
No.
Gosh, I remember this. I saw this earlier in the week.
Trump details his shoe philosophy. He says, I have fun with it. Look at those mismatched shoes.
And weren't this the ones that he gave to Marco Rubio?
Right. And so President DT disputed a recent report that he bought members of his cabinet dress shoes, but then offered detailed thinking on why that he has replaced top officials' footwear, saying that he doesn't want his cabinet members sporting sneakers. Now, why would you wear sneakers to a cabinet meeting? A high-level White House cabinet meeting.
Well, Trump said in the past that he did love the poorly educated, and you've seen how unqualified his cabinet is.
Well, the Wall Street Journal reported earlier this week that Trump had taken to guessing his top officials' shoe sizes and having an aide place an order based upon his guess, and then sending them a box of Florsheim dress shoes along with a note. Asked by Fox News' Brian Kilmeade if it was true that he was telling his cabinet to wear the Florsheim shoes, Trump said no, but it's a nice shoe. The president explains that when male members of his team say that they have a shoe problem, he tells them that he will get them a pair. Now, why would his cabinet tell him that they have shoe problems? Is he a dietist?
Who knows? I know that JD got like 10 pairs or something like that, and somebody else got an equal number of pairs.
Well,
the thing of it is, after the cabinet meeting, all the members wearing the shoes were seen getting into this little teeny tiny car and driving off to organ music.
okay. Is that the clown car?
I draw you a picture.
Trump said it seems to work out pretty well. They all now look spiffy and nice during their cabinet meeting. Vice President J.D. Vance has talked about Trump's habit before, telling a crowd in Pennsylvania in December that the president has bought him and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, whose feet that you're looking at in that picture, like 4 pairs of shoes, because he's like, we need our vice president and our Secretary of State to look their very best. The president also, what now?
Is that it? The very best?
He doesn't like his cabinet members wearing sneakers. He says, I never like cabinet members walking in on sneakers. But again, why would you, going to a cabinet meeting at the White House, why would you be wearing sneakers of all things?
Dress down?
Trump says, I never like cabinet members walking in on sneakers. Sneakers are wonderful, but I don't want my cabinet members wearing sneakers. So I'll get them a pair of shoes. It's a gift from Donald Trump. One female White House official told the Journal, it's hysterical because everyone's afraid not to wear them, including Marco Rubio.
You know what? If they're going to buy shoes for people, I'd like to see Barron get a new pair. Maybe something in a nice combat boot. Because
there is no way that he, again, if they bring back the draft, there's no way that he's going to war.
No, they'll find a way to keep him out. They can't use the height requirement thing because they waived the height requirement for a basketball player several years ago. So Barron's shorter than that. And they can't even use, I know that speculation had been going on for years about whether or not he's on the spectrum. But depending on the seriousness of the condition, autistic people can be used in the military. So, there are two arguments right there that shoot it down.
So Tim, earlier he said, happy weekend, everyone. Time for Friday evening fireside chat, windy edition. Yes, Tim is my personal weather forecaster. He always tells me when severe thunderstorms or bad weather is coming our way. The wind gusts this afternoon were 40 plus miles per hour.
We were having
it was windy.
Yeah, we were having it earlier today as well.
And I think this is like an ID. Tim? It was a small idea. And also Tim wrote in, he says, Crazy Land, clothing, shoes division. Good grief.
Yeah.
what people will do to stay in power.
Yeah, did you see what the GOP did in Texas in an effort to stay in power?
No, go ahead.
They put out an AI deepfake video of James Tallarico reading all these smarmy little tweets and stuff that supposedly he wrote in an effort to make him look like, I don't know, I'm not sure what. But that side of the aisle seems like they will stop at nothing to win an election, even if they have to cheat. And so
I know Amelia
using
Sykes.
AI fake video and audio, just beyond the pale.
I know that Amelia Sykes, our representative here in our district here in Akron, oh man, they're going to rake her over the coals.
Yep.
And they have some really interesting individuals in the Republican primary, including a talk show host and former meteorologist, Casey Coleman, who Tim knows. And so, but he's very right wing. He used to be on the conservative radio channel here in town. So it's going to, again, it's going to get nasty. However, I wanted to just say to everyone, do not let your heart be troubled. The best thing that you can do here is to go vote. Check your registration. Make sure that when you go to the voting booth, if they deny you for any reason at all, ask for a provisional ballot. Ask for a provisional ballot. And then more than likely, you'll have to go down to the Board of Elections then, wherever that it's located in your county and state, to go ahead and to prove that you are that you're legal to vote. So it's going to be very interesting. The Republicans have been trying their very best with gerrymandering and a lot of the things going on. It's going to be a very interesting primary. So again, and also general elections. So go vote. Go vote. If you're sick and tired of this craziness, I know that we don't use that term in New Thought, but if you're tired of all this craziness, go vote. That's what's going to end this. Your final thoughts, Reverend Jeff.
Keep your eye on what they do from now until probably September or even October, because they're going to slip up again, and they're going to slip up big time, and it's going to give the Democrats even more points. So, keep an eye on that. But besides checking your voter registration and then going out and actually putting it to use, don't forget your spiritual practice.
Yes.
Pray, meditate, read your inspirational books. Keep yourself built up.
Love your neighbor.
Yes. And know that
Pray
that's
for
why
those who persecute you. Yes.
Yeah, know that that's why we do this, to remind you that we can rise above this. And we will. We will. So.
Absolutely. And again, this is not the time to stick your head in the sand.
No.
This is the time to rise. This is the time to be in your power.
Have a little bit of fun with it.
Yeah, we do.
Nothing takes a bite out of it any more than making fun of them.
Oh, I think we do a pretty good job of it, huh, Jeff?
Yeah, we do.
All right. Any final comments here?
Nope. I think we're good.
All right. Once again, you have worked me a lot today.
You know what this is?
I'm applying for overtime.
This is
especially since you had me also engineer your program today.
The world's tiniest little record player, and it's playing just for you.
Thank you again, Reverend Jeff. Appreciate you so much. And it's time to go, folks. Again, I think it's important that we pay attention to what is going on. Yes, I know that the news is like a big fire hose, and that's what they're doing. That's what the higher ups are doing. We're getting blasted. However, Going ahead and not paying attention to it is just the same. The house is burning. So we need to take physical action, call the fire department, and also to take spiritual action. What do we want instead? To have a project 2029 of, again, a world that does work for everyone. All right, time for us to go. Have a great week. My name is Reverend Michael Mangus, and we will see you sometime during the week here on your positively inspiring network, the New Thought Media Network. I know.
Thanks for joining us this evening for Friday's Fireside Chat with Pastor Michael Mangus. Join us again next week at 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain for more spiritual conversations for today. For more information and replays of past shows, please visit the New Thought Radio and Media Network's Facebook page. Until next week, may God bless you richly and abundantly.